In this video, we're going to be showcasing how to get the Pelican to drop off weapon pods. Now, as you can see, I have it fly in, it sits there, and then it drops them all. They explode, and then the Pelican leaves, and it gets erased. Pretty simple script, pretty simple setup. Let's get into it. To start, we're going to go into objects. We're going to go into gear, humans, military. Then right here, Pelican Capsule Rack / scenery. You're going to want to make sure that's added in for the scenery. And then the next part is the crates. So obviously I already have it added as capsule pod unfired. But if you didn't already have it, obviously here we have the Pelican Capsule Rack. So the resupply unfired would be right there. Alright, to start, we have a scenery object in here. Pelican Capsule Rack. That is going to be what attaches to the actual Pelican to allow it to have these attached to it as well. You can actually change these, so like you can do SMG for some of them, you could do VR, and then if I were to spawn in right here, I would be able to pick it up because it would be in there. The other things you're going to need as well is you're going to have a Pelican that you can call up. So you're going to need the squad name to be something you can reference and the driver's seat to be something you can reference in a script as well. Down here, we're going to go to script data, point sets, and then you also want to make sure you have a point set that you can reference with points for the Pelican to move, face, and all that whatnot. Okay, now going into the actual script. So obviously we're going to start where it starts. Begin, it pretty much says that it says that it's going to begin the drop. Wake player arrival, so it's going to call up this dormant script up here, which is going to place the Pelican. It's going to reserve the Pelican's driver's seat, I believe. I'm not entirely sure. Then it runs the command script on it for the Pelican arrival. It creates a new object, so it'll create the rack, if it's not already in there at least. Then it's going to attach to the vehicle using squad name and the squad driver seat. SC01, that I believe is the vehicle seat as well, so it technically counts this as a vehicle. So SC01, you're going to have the rack, and then pin is the marker. Then you're going to create all the capsules, and the capsules, when you actually have the objects in the game, they have to be named the exact same as in the script, otherwise it won't work. And then you want to have all the objects attached to rack 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then you want to attach it to Pelican attach. So it's pretty much just attaching both of them. So objects attach rack 03. The rack is for the actual Pelican rack, and then the capsule Pelican attach. Pelican attaches the marker on the capsule itself for where it's going to attach itself to that rack. So then in the actual arrival script, most of these things, if you've been watching my videos, you probably already know. Failsafe, true for pathfinding, so it doesn't try to go off course. Starts off with a boost and it flies to the first point. Then it stops the boost, then it'll go to the next point, and then over here it begins to, I don't honestly know why it begins, but it begins, so it faces the point, and then it flies to the next point, it waits for a minute, or a second rather, and then it begins at random, so that all of these will randomly drop at whatever time. So it'll start with objects detach from the cell rack, capsule 1, then it'll sleep randomly, and then so on and so forth. And then down here, it'll go back down here, sleep for another 20 seconds, then it damages indirect. So indirect damage is really more so the capsule. When it says indirect over here for the damage section, that's really just blowing off the panel off so that you can actually see the weapons. And then it sleeps for another 30 seconds, unit closes, and then it starts to fly out of there and then destroys the current vehicle. And that's pretty much it. So these are all named Cell A Capsule 01 to 04. And same with the scenery. The actual Pelican has to be named a name that you can reference. So Cell A Rack. So you want to make sure that you can actually reference it. But that's how it is. That's how the weapon drop actually takes place. And with that, that will conclude this video. I appreciate you guys checking in, and I hope you've learned something from this video. And I will see you in the next one. Today we're going to go over how to make a separate vehicle file, and today we're going to be learning how to make custom chapter titles and objective titles. So as you can see,